Alright, so this is a video for a 2007 Silverado CV axle and strut replacement. It's going to be on the driver's side on this truck. These are real good. They come in one piece. You don't have to mess with rebuilding the strut. Always recommend it. Picked it up for about $150, and then a cheap CV axle there, about a fifth of the cost of the OEM. So we'll get started. So the first thing you want to do is we're going to take off these strut bolts here. It's 18 mil, 1, 2, and 3 on the other side of that hose there. And an impact gun is your best friend. 1, 2, and sorry about the light. Throw one over there. Impact took them right off. So the first thing to do is take off these strut mount bolts, size 18, impact wrench. We'll take them right off. You can get one down there. Next, lug nuts. The flathead, pop that off. 7/8. Next, this cap will have to come off to expose the axle nut. So usually a chisel and a hammer pop. Next, pop off this axle nut. I believe it's a 34 mil. Although bigger size will work. This is even a 1.5, and it really loose on there, but it does take it off. Next, we're going to pop off these 6 CV nuts from the flange coming out of the output for the diff there. So there's 6 of them. Using a 15 mil with the impact and the truck off the ground. Should work pretty easily. Sorry about the light. What do we got here? So, yeah, I mean, you get the point. 15 mil straight in. So that's with all the bolts out. I'm doing these 2 parts together because it's much easier to get the CV axle out if we actually pull out the strut anyway. But obviously, just if you don't need to do the strut, you're just going to be putting back the old one. Or if you can find a way to do the half shaft easily without taking that out, that's on you. I've always found that this usually has to come out and be pulled out of the way just to fit this CV axle in. So that's why I'm doing these 2 things together, and they both need to be replaced. So those bolts are out. Now we're going to take these bolts out here on the bottom. So those 2 15 mil bolts come out from the bottom, and just give it a little pry here. There you go. Give the CV axle a little pry from the top. I'll need 2 hands from that. Same thing, pry it and then pull it out that way. The new one. It's gonna go in from in here. And sorry. Do your best to line it up there. Sorry for the video. Just catch these bolts back in place. So you get the new bolts up top there from the up top, from getting it from inside the engine compartment, and pack those on. And then these new bolts are gonna get these on here from the bottom. You're just gonna line them up. So these new ones from the bottom. Be careful not to over tighten these bolts and break these clips. It's the only thing holding them on. See, that's a little bit right there on both sides. Don't want to go more than that. Okay. Axle nut, you zip that on, and that's important to torque. I believe on this truck it's around 300 foot-pounds. You don't want to over tighten or under tighten. You'll fuck up the bearing. You'll mess up the bearing. All right, that's it. Took about 20-30 minutes. New CV axle, new strut. Should ride a lot better. Torque that to around 300 foot-pounds. Wheel back on, torque to 100 foot-pounds, lug nuts. If you don't have a torque wrench, it's better tight than loose, I say. For parts, we got 139105 with both sides, and then just a cheap little CV axle. You can find them everywhere.